Love I stopped chasing found me anyway. A Goldilocks journey through desire, discernment, and divine timing. On October 17th, 2025, I published an essay asking a question that felt alive in my body but unanswered in my life. Are you a divine feminine craving a divine masculine counterpart? 2 weeks later, on November 1st, I met my divine counterpart. I didn't manifest him by scripting a list or visualizing a wedding. I manifested him by metabolizing myself. What unfolded in those weeks between writing and meeting him felt almost comically precise, like the universe running a Goldilocks test on my nervous system. Not too much, not too little, just right, but only once I could feel the difference. The Goldilocks weeks. I met a man who carried no visible baggage, clear, present, kind. I could see the future with him in a practical sense, the shared routines, ease, stability, and yet something in me knew he wouldn't fully understand the terrain I've crossed to become who I am, the losses, the initiations, the parts of me shaped by survival and surrender. He was safe, but not spacious enough. Then I met someone who resonated, emotionally attuned, intellectually stimulating, spiritually curious. On paper, a yes. In conversation, a yes. But when it came time for my body to speak, it stayed quiet. No contraction, no opening, just neutrality. That moment forced a reckoning. Was my body closed to love, or was it discerning in a way my mind hadn't yet learned to trust? Then came the spark. The kind that lights up old circuitry, intensity, chemistry, the feeling of youth, of being seen and wanted in that electric, immediate way. I let myself believe it might be something. And then he disappeared. No explanation, no unraveling, just gone. I still don't know what happened, and I no longer need to. All I know is that whatever I didn't need, whatever would have pulled me back into chasing clarity instead of inhabiting it, was swiftly removed from my path. Sometimes protection looks like confusion at first. Halloween, desire, and divine timing. A little disoriented, a little tender, and yes, very human in my desire for touch, I went out dancing on Halloween with a friend. My intention for the night was simple: dance and make out with someone. Check and check. I danced, I laughed, I kissed a man in a banana costume. Life felt absurd and alive. And if you've read my other essay, you know that the night ended with me being pepper sprayed, an experience that felt like a brutal but effective punctuation mark from the universe. We're done here. The next day, as if on cue, a message jumped out at me on Tinder. David. The conversation flowed effortlessly. He asked question after question, not performative curiosity, but real interest. He wanted to know how I think, how I move through the world, what shaped me. There was no pacing strategy, no withholding, just presence. 2 days later, he took me out. When I got into his car, my nervous system exhaled. I didn't realize how vigilant I'd been until my body stopped bracing. His eyes felt familiar, not in a past life fantasy way, but in a recognition way, as if my system already knew the frequency. I felt my ancestors with me, and I was suddenly reminded of an intense psilocybin journey I once had, where I saw a man seated on a throne, not a ruler, but a guardian. He embodied safety, stability, quiet strength, a container that allowed everything else to soften. That was the feeling. What I actually manifested. It's been over 2 months now, and for the first time in my life, I feel regulated in love. Not euphoric, not activated, not bracing for loss or scanning for red flags, just safe, secure, held. I didn't manifest a man. I manifested the version of myself who could receive him. The woman who no longer confuses intensity with intimacy. The woman who listens when her body says not yet. The woman who doesn't chase closure because she trusts removal is guidance. The woman who stopped outsourcing safety and became it. Only then did love appear, not as a lesson, but as a mirror. I'll share more in future essays about the continuous flow of signs that made it unmistakably clear this wasn't coincidence. This was coherence. For now, I'll say this. When love arrives without effort, without anxiety, without performance, it's because something inside you has already settled into truth, and truth is magnetic. If this story stirred something in you, stay close. Be sure to subscribe and like. I'll be writing more about how to recognize when you're manifesting from wound versus wholeness and how to prepare the energetic field for love that regulates rather than destabilizes. Under the quiet guidance of Aphrodite Urania, we remember divine union does not begin when someone arrives. It begins when the body finally believes it is safe to be loved. If you find yourself in a similar in-between space where something old has clearly ended, but what's next hasn't fully revealed itself yet, I'm offering a limited number of transition doula sessions in January. These sessions are for those navigating identity shifts, relationship recalibrations, nervous system healing, or the quiet rewiring that happens before life brings something new in. This isn't coaching to fix you or push you toward outcomes. It's gentle, intuitive support to help you listen to what your body and inner knowing are already communicating. Sometimes the most powerful manifestations happen not through effort, but through being witnessed as you soften into your next chapter. Find out more at www.goddessintraining.online.